Yo, what's up guys? Dansking1711, the best damn thing in Pokemon around, coming at you guys with a deck profile today. Um, you know, before I get into what the list actually is, as you can see, it is Mega Audino. A little bit of backstory, because if you haven't, unless you've been living under a rock for the last 2 weeks, you most likely have heard that this deck is what won Worlds 2016 this year. And I'm going to go over the list in this video, as well as my thoughts as to why it won, and how good I think it's going to be moving forward into the new rotation. So, obviously we have Mega Audino, which, if you don't know what it does, for 3 colorless, it's 110 to the active, and if you play the supporter from your hand during this turn, it does another 50 damage to one Pokemon on your opponent's bench. Why is that good? Well, because for the Worlds format, you had things running around like Night March, you had things like Trevenant, you had Greninja. All those things that I mentioned, their basics either have 50 or less HP, or gets pressured so much by that 50 damage that they can't recover from it. Not to mention, 110 damage is right on the money to one-shot a Shaman EX. So that's why, that's a big reason as to why the deck did as well as it did. Now you could be saying, well, you could always paralyze it, right? Well, that's where Magiana EX comes into play. And you're not really using the Soul Blaster attack with this. It's mainly for the Mystic Heart. Prevent all effects of your opponent's attacks except damage done to each of your Pokemon that has any Steel Energy attached to it. So you attach a Steel Energy to your Mega Audino, it can't get paralyzed, it can't get poisoned, it can't get confused. Any of that stuff that would shut down your attacks? None. But, okay, so before I go any further, let's actually talk about the deck list in full. He ran, and Shintaro Idaro, I think is what his name is, he ran a 4-3 line of Mega Audino, which again, 220 HP, 110 attack, that's really, can really lay down the pressure. He also ran 2 Shamans, which again, setup, it gets you your draw ability, and the Magiana EX. He also ran 1 copy of Hoopa EX for the Scoundrel Ring ability, obviously, and then a few tech monsters that I personally like. 1 copy of Absol EX, so that you can move around the damage counters, and which is awesome in this deck because it adds more pressure, and as well as 1 Cobalion from Steam Siege. And this one is really good because 1, it's a 1 prize knockout, whereas Mega Audino, Shaman, and Hoopa are all 2. And if you do happen to be trailing behind, it does massive amounts of damage. On top of that, you can also use Quick Guard to block damage. So obviously he ran a Steel Engine with his Mega Audino, which, why wouldn't you if you have an attack like Magical Symphony that can use any energy, and you have Magiana EX who prevents additional effects as long as they have a Steel Energy. It makes perfect sense. Moving on to the items in the deck, he ran 1 Escape Rope, 1 Mega Turbo, 1 Megaphone, 1 Super Rod, 4 Trainer's Mail, 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Versus Seeker. Again, it's pretty standard stuff given the format. I do like the inclusion of the 1 Mega Turbo. It does allow you to set up your Mega Audinos in 1 turn. Now here's something that I found kind of interesting. He was actually running 2 copies of AZ, which is actually pretty good. It's a very good card. It's getting rotated out, so I don't know how good, how helpful, how good the deck is going to be afterwards. Because what AZ does is that you pick up any Pokemon from your, put one Pokemon into your hand. So you could reuse Shamans, you could reuse Hoopas, you could heal off your Mega Audino. And it's also a supporter, so it counts for that Magical Symphony. He also ran 1 Hexamaniac, 2 Lysanders, which again adds to the pressure of, because Magical Symphony one-shots a Shaman. 2 copies of N, and 4 Sycamore, 1 Xerosic, and 1 Pokemon Fan Club, not Pokemon, Pokemon Center Lady, which again counts as a supporter and it heals you. So, in other words, he made this deck be pretty damn bulky, and it works out. Then he's also got things like Parallel City, which, if he's facing off against, say, Greninja, which he did in the finals, he can set it so that the red side is facing his opponent, and that the side and the bench narrowing side is facing him, which in turn lets you discard, say, Shamans that you don't need anymore, which after their play can be a huge liability. Then finishing off the deck, he has 4 copies of the Spirit Link, which obviously he has 2 Float Stones, and last but not least 4 DCEs and 6 Steel Energy. Now, here's my thing. It was a very wise meta choice going into the tournament, because of all the things like Night March and whatnot running around that can get one shot by the bench snipe. Going forward though, yes, it's still going to be a popular deck, so you have to be ready to face it, but I don't think it's going to have that same pressure. I don't think it can apply the same pressure that it did during Worlds. Now, why is that? Well, for one, Night March is getting rotated out, and that was a big thing. Trevenant, that's getting rotated out as of, say, tomorrow when this video goes live. Basically anything that this deck provided tons of pressure to, or that could get snipes on the bench for, all the stuff that it could one-shot on the bench is getting rotated out. Yes, it's still going to be a decent deck, because you can always just switch out the AZs for Ranger and Ninja Boy. You can swap out the Megaphone for probably an Assault Vest, as well as the Xerosic, because there's not going to be much in ways of item removal now. And that's all you really have to do. But yeah, that's pretty much what the deck is. It's actually very cheap to make. The most expensive thing is the 2 Shamans. I think Mega Audinos are maybe 10 at the moment, just because of the hype. And that's going to settle down. But yeah, moving forward, I definitely think it's going to be a popular deck, but it's not going to be as strong as it was during Worlds. Well, and as you can see, I don't have all the cards for the deck at the moment. Otherwise, I would go into a few battles with you guys right here and now to show what the deck is actually capable of doing. But if I get the cards down the line, I will definitely go ahead make another video of me using the deck whether it be this exact copy or a post-rotation copy. And I will post that for you guys then. Until next time, guys, this has been Dansky1711, signing off.